I'm going to continue on with study objective 5 and just kind of go through the bank reconciliation process a bit with you. There are some 4 steps basically that you follow in doing bank reconciliations. First you analyze deposits in transit, then outstanding checks, then you look at errors, and then bank memoranda. This is information you learn from the bank on the bank statement. So there's an example bank reconciliation here with some data that they've given to you. Here's deposit and transit information. Outstanding checks are provided to you, so those get added up. There's some errors. We'll go through that in a second. And then these are bank memoranda. So here's all the data for a problem, and this is how the bank reconciliation would look. You start with either the book or the banks first. It really doesn't matter, but you pick one and you say the cash balance per the bank statement. We'll start with bank. This is the amount right off the bank statement that was in the book at the beginning of the chapter. You add deposits in transit because those are deposits the company has made that haven't hit the bank yet, haven't posted to the bank yet. So you add those in. Subtract outstanding checks. These are checks the company has written that haven't hit the bank yet, so those will be subtractions, are paid out by the bank as soon as they clear. So those get subtracted, and then you get an adjusted bank balance right here. There's an assumption you rarely will see bank errors, but if there were any bank errors in the problem, they would also go into this bank section. So there's the adjusted balance per bank. Then you start with the cash balance per books at the date, April 30th. Here, and we'll look at the differences that need to be adjusted to the bank balance, or the book balance. The first one is a collection of a note receivable for $1,000 plus interest earned. So up here they told us about a credit, a bank memoranda credit to our account. Collection of a note receivable of $1,000 plus interest. So a customer paid us $1,050. The bank keeps a $15 fee for providing this service. So $1,035 hits our bank. So $1,035 is already in the bank balance because the bank's telling us about it. We have to add it to our account, our cash balance. Okay, so we add it in here. Then we have an error, check number 443. Let's go read about that. Errors. Check 443 was correctly written for $12.26 and correctly paid by the bank. However, Laird recorded the check as $12.62. So if we recorded the check as $12.62, that means we credited cash for $12.62. We reduced cash by $12.62. We should have reduced cash by $12.26, so we reduced it too much. So we have to add back the difference, $36, to our cash account on our books. So that's why we're adding $36 to cash right here. So you can see we're adding in our book adjustments, and then we might have subtractions too. An NSF check of $425.60. The bank told us about, and an NSF check from this guy for $425.60. Well, we know we don't have that money in our account, so we had put it in our books by debiting cash earlier, and when we deposited the check, now we have to take it out. And then finally, a bank service charge. They told us about a service charge of $30 for check printing, so that is already in the bank balance. We have to subtract it from the book balance. So once we do all that math, we should match. This number should match this number, and they do. So we're all set. Now the only thing left to do is to actually record these adjustments. Remember, our cash balance is still this on the books. We have to get these adjustments into the books by creating journal entries. And this is how the journal entries would look. There's the collection of the note receivable, there's the book error, there's the NSF check, and there's the bank service charges. Look over those to make sure you understand how that process has to work.